Hello everyone, my name is Joey, and today we'll be talking about understanding and securing cloud service models. And there are three of them. My name is Joey, and this is a second lecture for cloud security lecture. So, without further ado, let's go to the next slide. So, there are three delivery model of computing. You have the software as a service, you have platform as a service, and then you have infrastructure as a service. So it's in this cloud pyramid. And the higher you are in the pyramid, the lesser the complexity of your work will be. And going down, it will be going to be more complex. And I will talk about that later. And to memorize that very quickly, so you have the infrastructure, those are your compute, those are your storage, and you put the operating system there, and then you put the platform or the services into the operating system, and then you build the application which is on top of it. So and then for SaaS, so for SaaS, for example, both the services where you that you use is abstracted from you, or you don't need to worry about it. And if you are in PaaS, the infrastructure is abstracted from you, and that's being taken care by your cloud provider. Again, if you're SaaS, the services where the application is residing, that's totally abstracted from you, and you don't need to care about it. So let's go ahead and see more details. So for software as a service, you are just paying for the subscription. Like it would be an using Microsoft Office 365 or ServiceNow maybe. You're not building, customizing on it, but yeah, there are many flavors in ServiceNow. But if you're just a user of ServiceNow, so you're paying ServiceNow for each user. And you don't need to worry where's the shell, what's the database it's using. So you just pay the subscription. So for software as a service, it's basically the user is anybody. Okay, and it's subscription basis. Okay, so for platform as a service, the user for the platform are usually the developers. So an example would be the web application that you deploy in Microsoft Azure. So if you want to put up a website, in the olden days, you need to put up a server that has live IP, you need to configure firewall, and there's a lot that you need to configure. While in the past, you'll be given the IIS, and you just build the web application on it, deploy the web app on it, and that's it. You don't need to worry about the shell, you don't need to worry about what operating system is running, you don't need to worry about the IP address and everything. So that is being taken care of by your cloud provider. So the components, you will have development tools, you have middleware, the OS is basically abstracted from you, even the database, or yeah, maybe, yeah, for platform as a service, you will have access, you can develop the database, so you can customize it. But the OS is totally abstracted from you. So yeah, for example, if you're building Facebook application that will be used by your users, also if you're doing the web application and deploying it to Azure Cloud or to GCP or to these are serverless applications, so it's a platform as a service. Again, the users are developers. For infrastructure of the as a service, usually the user will be the sysadministrator, and it will be composed of your compute, virtualized compute system and a networking and storage. It's just basically a virtualized computer that resides on the web or on the cloud that is being virtualized by the vendor or you. And your task is to, configure the operating system and everything in that. So just it's also another term for infrastructure as a service, is hardware as a service. So basically they provide you with the hardware and then everything is your responsibility. So again, the user for the infrastructure as a service are system administrator. And how do we secure the if we are now the cloud security administrator, how do we secure the software as a service? So number one, it should be a trusted application that you want the company to be using. You have to check that yeah, this is a valid provider and then they're complying with the regulatory standard, they have audit, it's a big name in the industry like ServiceNow, for example. And you will be doing the periodic access review, you will be granting access, you will be doing role-based security, and then you will be establishing the segregation of the user, like the departments, and make sure that the data is only available for those person who will have access to those particular data. Now you need to, the backup will be taken care of by the provider, but you need to have access to that in case that, for example, ServiceNow will have to go down and then you want to put that in your local server, you should be able to do so. So that you need to ensure for the DR, and then make sure that the for tenant-based application, make sure that your data is only readable by your company, and the other company should not be able to read from it, and that's by installing your certificates on your data, and then encrypting it, of course, and protecting your data at rest and at runtime. Yeah, those are the things that you need to ensure for software as a service. Your responsibilities lighter on this one. Now for and then there's still continue to make sure that there are no misconfiguration in the software as a service. So it's basically, originally we have software installed on our PC, but this one is software that is installed on the cloud and it's being used by you and different companies, and you just make sure that the other company should not be able to read from your data. There should be encryption, and your data should be encrypted both at rest again and at runtime. So if an attacker is trying to attack the pass, it's going to steal your username, password, and try to imitate you and then get into the system. Once he is able to get into the system, he will try to attack the rest of the tenant in the system. Or you can go directly to the cloud, search for the operating system where the application is residing. So still you need to secure this, and the application might go down and you need to restore. You have to ensure that the data, that you can still recover the data from the failure. Nothing is perfect in this world. Expect things to, computer will fail. That's a weakness of the computer. Now for the platform as a service, again, the user of this are the developer. So example is we're putting a web application into the IIS, into the cloud. So rather than having an IIS that resides on the operating system or you just create a web application, then deploy it directly to the cloud, and that web application is running. Again, you will need to ensure that you have the username and password for all your user, and that is stored in your password vault and your key management system. You also will have the data is your responsibility, because that's the most important item that is protected at rest and at runtime, and it's encrypted, and it should not be readable from, if somebody get the backup, you should not be able to read the data. And you will also be doing disaster recovery and business continuity. So how um, so for example, you have a web application that is deployed on Azure, and for whatever reason, the entire code behind becomes readable to everybody in the internet. So your task as the security admin is to ensure that you minimize the risk for your company. If there are financial data there, you need to take down the application. And if the entire Azure is compromised, for example, for disaster recovery, you should be able to port your application from Azure to GCP or to AWS or to other cloud provider. And that's your task as a security professional. Then you need to ensure that you have strong password and password policies there put there in place. Then you will also ensure that your application is accessible only by your client. So for example, your client is only based in the Philippines and Australia, then only those two countries should be able to access the application. Like, yeah, I could have a tenant-based service now, but if I put a regional firewall, then my application will be accessible only from Australia and the Philippines. Of course, you need to review the security contract that your cloud provider is providing you. So that is your task as the uh, cloud security professional for PaaS, for platform as a service. Again, your client or your user here are the developers. Or infrastructure as a service, also known as hardware as a service. You will be just be given a hardware, and you'll be the one putting in the operating system, setting up the firewall, doing the backup, and then it's like you put the data center into the cloud. But everything will be your responsibility. So you will be installing antivirus, you'll be setting up your regional firewall, so it will be accessible only to the following IP address, or the following computer, or the following regions. And then you will be the one doing the patches and updates, and of course you will be doing periodic access review, and then you need to keep the administrator password and username on your password vault. You will do install certificates, you will be doing security monitoring on your own, and then you will be the one to comply with the audit and governance. And then, well, you have to secure the data, always secure your data at rest and at runtime. And then you need to scan your cloud asset for misconfiguration. So what's the if I'm a hacker, what will I do with those misconfigurations? So for example, there are database that has username admin, password is tiger, or Northwind user is still enabled, and I can get through Northwind. So there are default password in your user in your database or in your operating system that are enabled, or anonymous logins are enabled. For example, you need to manage those things. And then, yeah, if the server are not patched, then I can exploit as a hacker, I can exploit the vulnerability. So those are your responsibility in the cloud service model. So my name is Joe again. Thank you for watching, and I'll be teaching cloud security on one-on-one basis. If you're interested, just contact me through the following email. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day and great day forward for you. Thank you.